I call it the N word. There are two N words, and you can't use either of them. Can't use either of them.
Hepatitis B is sexually transmitted. There's no reason to give a baby that's almost just born hepatitis B. I would say wait till the baby is 12 years old.
Firemen are incredible. They're up in one of these ladders that goes way up to the sky. You fall off that ladder, it's over. It's over. They don't even have to inspect you when you hit the ground.
A very successful real estate developer in New York, known as Donald J. Trump, is destroying a large part of the free world. And I'm telling you that if you don't get away from Donald J. Trump, your countries are going to hell.
And we want war because we want to have no wars.
I'm not so careful with what I say.
I'm very careful. When I walk downstairs, like I'm on stairs, like these stairs, I walk very slowly. Just try not to fall. Be cool. Be cool when you walk down, but don't bop down the stairs. Bop down the stairs. Bop down the stairs. Don't bop down the stairs. So one thing with Obama, he would bop down those stairs. I've never said, da-da-da-da-da-da, pop, 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 da-da-da-da-da-da, pop, pop, pop.
I always had very strong feelings about autism and how it happened and where it came from. Does that tell you something?
Actually, I love my signature. I really do. Everyone loves my signature.
And they pump so much autism into those beautiful little babies. It's a disgrace. Is that a correct statement, by the way?
No, you cannot do that. I said, yes, I can.
I mean, there's a rumor, and I don't know if it's so or not. They're pumping, it looks like they're pumping into a horse. Not good.
For 22 years, I did nothing but kill his people. They were in the room together at the Oval Office. And one was here, and one was here. That's the furthest I've ever seen two people in front of me. And as the hour went by, they got closer, closer, closer. And they hugged and hugged and hugged. And I said, that's so nice, and you're going to remain friends.
I'm not a doctor, but I'm giving my opinion.
We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms.
Don't let them pump your baby up with the largest pile of stuff you've ever seen in your life going into the delicate little body of a baby.
We started off with a clip that made him look like an ant.
Because it's too much liquid. Too many different things are going into that baby at too big a number.
Tariff. I love tariffs. Most beautiful word. My favorite word in the English dictionary is the word tariff. They said, what about love? What about religion? What about God? What about wife, family? Tariff is my favorite word. I love the word tariff. We're becoming rich as hell.
Got a lot of friends, they're fat. They said, yeah, I lost some weight. I said, you don't look it to me.
So we found $31 billion and we're not sure from where it came. I said, well, what does that mean? He said, we don't know where it came. I said, check the tariff shelf.
I had a woman who worked for me, and she had the most perfect child. Beautiful. Just perfect. And I remember this little blonde-haired boy running around the lobby of Trump Tower, so healthy and so vibrant. He was so beautiful. I see that gorgeous boy. I have a big present for him in the back. You bring him back. We're going to bring him into the Oval Office. I have the best present he's ever going to get, okay? A big one. I saved it for you, okay? Because I heard you were coming. Look how beautiful he is.
Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize. But for me, the real prize will be the sons and daughters, of which the United States, as you know, has many.
I call him my little communist. He's my little communist mayor.
Effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen.
We were sitting there. I said, didn't it used to be called the Department of War? And he goes, yes, sir. They changed it like in the early 50s. That was probably the first sign of wokeness. How do you think if we changed it back? Would that be a nice idea?
But you have certain groups, the Amish as an example, they have essentially no autism.
My job's very dangerous. If you would have told me this, maybe I wouldn't have done it.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
Why do you think we haven't heard more previously about the tie to autism and acetaminophen?
Nobody knows. I don't know.
Da-da-da-da-da-da, pop, pop, pop.